All right, hello everyone, welcome back. Episode 82 of Trade Talk. Pippin and Easy and Connor, you're here. You've been up for a long time. I appreciate you staying up for this.
Anything for you, Scotty. How you been?
Look, I've been well. And guys, we don't have much really to report on in the markets. So Connor, you're out of all your positions currently.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes. So you're stopped out at, I think around about roughly -1 for both of them.
yeah,
So I moved the stop loss, so it didn't get stung too badly.
yeah.
But I've been stung a few times this year now, so I'm down about 10%.
It's been quite the ride,
Which isn't
actually.
great, but that's what it
It is. It is. It's trend trading. It's a beautiful thing at times, and then it can be a little painful. But speaking of trends, guys, I bought the USDN. So I got in. If we bring the daily up, we can see it wasn't an exact price action thing. It was more a trend continuation thing. But it printed a nice engulfing candle here earlier. Last week, and that sort of got me interested. I missed the trade. It continued pushing up, so I said, well, it still is looking pretty strong, and I took the trade at 112.99, and pardon that was the network connection dropping out on MetaTrader. That's the life I'm living. I'm in a hotel like lobby dash kitchen area, so stop loss. The important thing, guys, to remember where the stop loss is 112.26. So this has actually been trending so much that the moving average I used was a 55 simple moving average, and I had the stop loss down there. So it's pretty tight, the stop loss really. But if you have a look at the 4-hour, you can see it's pulled back a little bit, but it's now recovering, getting close-ish to break even. So in regards to a take profit here, I don't have a set take profit for this system here. I just trail the exit, with a roughly 1% or a 1R, depending on what I've risked. And I do that, so you really just let it run. You let the trade develop, but we'll see on this. Because 113 has proven to be a little bit of resistance earlier in the year, in July, but we'll sit and wait. That's what we do, guys. Connor and I, we just go with things. We don't trade every day and get crazy with it. So it is. Now, I'll quickly touch on the Aussie dollar. This isn't an open trade, but I have a pending order to sell the Aussie dollar here. This is more. It was on the 4-hour again, but it's more of. I definitely haven't been triggered though. I'm just going to zoom out here on the Aussie dollar onto the daily. So we'll see. It's sort of pulled back recently, and pretty wicky candle here. This was sort of like a kangaroo tail. Got me very interested. Very much rejected the price, pulled back, and entry here is at 72.22. So 222. And the stop loss is up at 73.03 or something like that, and that's at really pretty much the 55-day moving average again. So as you can see, the Aussie dollar is trending down. I go with the trend. It's actually bounced a little bit, but now it's going back again. So we'll see once it continue that movement, and also the USD yen is obviously an uptrend, so I look to buy that. So that's sort of very simplistic view of the system that I'm going to play here. Now, we'll go to the pound, Connor, because we have some raw chatter about what's been going on in the UK and things like that. What's your take just on that as a setup? Is that anything that interests you there with the pound, or it's still a bit too sideways for now on the daily chart?
It doesn't really look that great, Miss Scotty. It's going a little bit too sideways, especially on the daily. It doesn't really look like it's taken off as a trend. You've got a fair few candles back, really bearish candles, which would to me suggest it's got further move downwards, but that would be that would just be of a bearish outlook on it, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's always important, guys, if you're looking at taking a trade, what the overall thing is from a higher time frame. Even if you do trade lower time frames, you sort of want a context of things. Like, I mean, look, it really hasn't been able to break out of this, this range at all. 1.32, 434 or so, that level, it just keeps sort of hitting against it. It did it again, and now it's sideways. It's just very difficult to get a movement because it's very congested. It's like it doesn't know where it wants to go. You've got Brexit talk still happening. It's you've got that to add into the mix as well. One person says one thing, the other person's like Corbyn says something else as well, and it adds to the fire of uncertainty. So be a bit cautious. As Connor just said as well, with that price action, it's not very clean and it's very choppy and it's not ideal. Now, was there anything you were looking at? If you had a clean slate or anything, any sort of particular setup, or that it's just all pretty messy right now?
No, I don't have anything on looking at Scotty at the moment.
And if it's like that,
it's all over messy.
And for the viewers that are watching this who are sort of like looking to start trading, you have to be aware that you're not always going to be able to be in the market, especially if you're a higher time frame trader. And I would recommend doing that. Don't just sort of, if you work full time, unless you win the lotto, you can quit. But I mean, you still don't want to just start with the lower time frames because it's like running through a minefield. You could get out the other side, but more than likely you'll probably get hurt somehow because it's very demanding and there's just so much going on. It's very high risk. If you have no idea what you're doing, is the issue. What would you have to add to that, Connor, with lower time frames for beginners? What are your thoughts on that? The viewers.
Visit with and try and get some money back when you lose it, because you will lose it quickly on the lower time frames. We want to start on something like a daily, although it's boring. At least when you're losing, you're not losing too much. The answer that is needed to take in your trading.
It is. It's a lot slower, so it's harder to make mistakes. Spread plays less into it, especially if you just stick with the majors. Obviously, the US Turkish lira, probably don't be touching that. To be honest, that's pretty wild. So be cautious of that, and just learn. Don't just jump in live and think you're going to be like a millionaire in a day. No matter what the gurus tell you as well. So don't spend too much on online courses either. That's not. I mean, I think your videos I share them with people who ask me because they're like, "How do you do support and resistance, a basic engulfing candle?" Check out Connor's thing because I probably have too many videos on my channel. It's a bit, I just love talking, so that's clearly evident. And sometimes the videos I put out are just a bit.
And I probably don't have enough, so it's a balance.
Yeah, we need to do another scam watch as well, don't we? I need to look into that. And what's the next? Yeah. Who's the next character on the block? Because John Howe seems to be quieting down a little bit after your video.
There's plenty.
Yeah, yes, there's plenty. Oh, there's probably so many to pick from, actually. But if you have an experience you want to reach out to us, leave a comment or something. But we will get onto that because it's quite it's important to inform the trading public about what to look out for and how to avoid getting scammed, sort of deal, because you can easily lose your money to a scam and then you don't ever want to trade again, and that's just really disappointing because you can there's potential here. You just got to keep working away slowly. It's a slow thing. It's not going to happen overnight, really. So but yeah, I think, is there anything else you'd like to cover? It's a bit of a quiet week, really. It's not the US dollar's not really being...
No, there's nothing. Sorry, there's nothing wrong at the moment. So
yeah, that's right. So again, we'll wait and see, guys, to see what next week brings. Maybe, hopefully, some stability with the trade talk thing with China and the US, obviously, and hopefully they can start just smoothing things out a little bit. for the better, because it will be for the best for the economy for the US down the road, because it will probably end up just really causing absolute mayhem. So we'll watch and see what happens with that. But yeah, that's all from me, Connor. And anything final to add for our loyal viewers?
No. All I can say is there's nothing going on in the chart for me, so I've just got to stay patient and wait till something comes along.
I think, guys, that's a good take home. Don't just trade to trade, because you can lose money very easily in trading in Forex. So be careful. But that was a good way to wrap it up, Connor. Thank you very much for joining us, and thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now, Connor.
Goodbye, Scotty.